Have you ever wondered what really separates the people who consistently achieve amazing things from everyone else? Is it just talent or luck? Well, not really. The secret, more often than not, is a specific way of thinking, a learnable mindset that acts as a blueprint for success. And today, we're going to build that blueprint together, piece by piece.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down exactly what this mindset is. Then, we'll build the foundation with vision and belief. After that, we'll fire up the engine with action and discipline. We'll learn how to steer with growth and resilience, and then hit the accelerator with people and leverage. And we'll wrap up with the most important part, the very first step you can take. Let's dive in.
I want you to think of this success mindset as your personal operating system. The software that's running everything in the background. It's what quietly governs your habits, shapes what you believe is possible, and drives all the behaviors that ultimately lead to big achievements.
So to put a fine point on it, it's a system. It's how your habits, your beliefs, and your actions all work together to keep you growing and bouncing back from setbacks. But the most important part of this whole slide, the real game changer, is that last sentence. It is built, not born. This is not some magic trait you're born with. It's a skill. And just like any other skill, you can learn it and you can get better at it with practice.
Okay, every great structure needs a solid foundation. For our blueprint, that foundation is made of two key things: vision and belief. It's this incredibly powerful combination of knowing exactly where you're headed and truly, deeply believing that you have what it takes to get there.
The first piece of this foundation is a major shift in perspective. You see, most people get caught up in the day-to-day grind. The success mindset encourages you to think in decades, and when you start thinking that long-term, it changes everything. Suddenly, you're willing to trade short-term comfort for a much bigger future reward. Every decision gets filtered through a simple question: is what I'm doing right now getting me closer to where I want to be in 10 years? So, how do you actually build this big, long-term vision? Well, it starts by writing a personal mission statement, getting clear on your why. From there, you break it down into specific, measurable goals, SMART goals. And then, and this is key, you bring it to life by visualizing it every single day. Just spend a few minutes imagining what it looks like, what it feels like to have already achieved those goals.
Of course, a big vision is useless if you don't believe you can pull it off. You have to learn to manage that little voice in your head, that imposter syndrome that tells you you're not good enough. And here's a super practical way to do that. Keep a wins journal. Seriously, every day just write down one thing you accomplished. It could be big or small. Over time, you'll have this incredible logbook of evidence that proves you are capable.
All right, foundation's in place. We know where we're going. Now, we need the engine, the thing that actually powers the vehicle and makes it move. And that, my friends, is action and discipline. This is where plans become reality.
This slide hits on something we all struggle with: the difference between motivation and discipline. We love motivation, right? It feels great, but it's just a feeling. It's unreliable, it comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice. It's what you do when the feeling isn't there. It shows up on the hard days and creates its own momentum. That's the real power source.
And this ties right into a mindset called extreme ownership. It's all about what's on the screen. No blaming, no excuses. It means you take 100% responsibility for every outcome in your life, good or bad. Instead of wasting energy on what went wrong or whose fault it was, your first thought is always, okay, what's the solution? What can I control right now?
Remember, discipline is a muscle. You build it with daily reps. A solid morning routine is huge for setting the tone for your day. So is focusing on the few tasks that have the biggest impact. And I love this last one, the 72-hour rule. Anytime you set a new goal, you have to take one small physical step toward it within 3 days. This trains your brain to have a bias for action, not just planning.
Let's be real. The path to doing anything worthwhile is never a straight line. There will be bumps, detours, and setbacks. That's where our navigator comes in: growth and resilience. This is all about how you handle challenges and bounce back even stronger.
This brings us to a really critical question, one that can define your entire journey. When you fail at something, what do you see it as? Is it a roadblock, a dead end that stops you cold? Or is it a compass? Is it just data, pointing you in a new, maybe even better direction?
The goal is to learn how to fail forward. This means you stop taking failure personally and start treating it as pure feedback. The result wasn't what you wanted? Okay, cool. That's just data. What did we learn? You journal the lessons, you actively ask people for honest feedback, and then you adapt. This is how you turn every single mistake into a stepping stone for future success.
At the very heart of this is the concept of a growth mindset. It's the belief that your skills and intelligence aren't fixed. They can be developed through hard work and dedication. So instead of running from challenges because you might look bad, you actively seek them out because you know they're opportunities to learn and get better. It's about being obsessed with the process of improvement.
Now, if you want to get truly incredible, exponential results, you can't just rely on your own effort. You have to think bigger. And that brings us to our accelerator, people and leverage. This is all about how you multiply your impact.
You've probably heard that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It is absolutely true. Your network is one of your most valuable assets. When you intentionally surround yourself with people who are ambitious, positive, and inspiring, you can't help but elevate your own game.
And the best networks are built on a simple principle, a win-win value exchange. It's not about what you can get, it's about what you can give. As you can see, things as simple as really listening to someone or sharing what you know without asking for anything back, those things build incredible trust, attract mentors, and open up doors you never even knew existed.
Leverage is the art of getting more done with less of your own direct effort. It's how you get 10x results, not just 10% more. This means you stop thinking in one-off tasks and start building repeatable systems. It means learning to delegate, using technology to automate, and finding mentors who can help you skip years of trial and error by learning from their mistakes.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've laid out the entire blueprint. But listen, a blueprint is completely useless if it just sits on a shelf collecting dust. So this final piece is the most critical one of all, turning this knowledge into action.
All of this information can feel like a lot to take in at once. I totally get it. But here's the good news. The entire massive journey, it all starts with just one single manageable step.
And that is the challenge. Don't try to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. Just look back at everything we've talked about and pick one thing. Maybe it's starting that wins journal. Maybe it's trying the 72-hour rule on your next idea. Whatever it is, commit to practicing just that one new habit for the next 30 days. That's it. Build the habit, make it automatic, and then you can build the next one.
So, there you have it. The blueprint is now yours. It's the framework for vision, for discipline, for resilience, and for leverage. The only question that really matters now is the one on the screen. What will you build first?